Mhm. Maybe we'll wait another minute or so
Sure, that sounds
to let
great.
that. It's good to see these names. These are not names that I've normally seen, so glad to see new people joining us. And okay. All right, well, I'll go ahead and begin. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pearl Nakagawa. I am a financial aid specialist here at Leeward Community College in the financial aid office. We can be found at the Welcome Center on the second floor of the admin building. If you ever want to come by and visit any of our student services offices, just please stop by and say hello. Um, so today we'll be talking about the UH Common Scholarship application. And I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Okay. So the UH Common Scholarship application, what is it? It's one application that will check your eligibility against a whole bunch of UH System and Leeward Community College scholarships. The scholarship application is currently open. It opens usually on October 1st. For the prior year. So it opened in October, on October 1st of 2024, and it closes on March 3rd, 2025. It's a Monday. Normally it closes on March 1st, but March 1st falls on a Saturday this year. So the application closes promptly at 4 p.m., and this is an online application. So please be sure that once you start it, you get everything submitted well before 4 p.m., and then you can click submit. Okay. Um, so a, a quick bit about scholarships. Scholarships, the best thing about them are that they're considered gift aid, meaning you once you're given a legitimate scholarship, you're not required to repay it. And how you get scholarships is, of course, you apply. There are many different kinds of private scholarships out. Um, but most of them have eligibility determined by the donors, and they can pick different kinds of eligibility requirements, such as merit. Basically, if you've done really good schoolwork and it shows in your GPA, need, which is usually demonstrated by your FAFSA results, and other requirements can be things like what you're majoring in, um, ethnicity. I'm not allowed to publish any scholarships that require ethnicity or gender as a requirement, but there are lots out there, especially for our Indigenous Native Hawaiian population. Also, community service. Um, you can, if you participate in certain nonprofit organizations projects, then a lot of times they do have scholarships available that you can apply to finance your college education. So sometimes donors set requirements, like some scholarships on Oahu require that you do some community service for their organization as repayment. Um, Sometimes some of them require you to write a thank you letter or an essay talking about how the scholarship has benefited you. But one thing to keep in mind, the one requirement that a scholarship should not have is a requirement for an application fee or any other kind of monetary compensation. Now, completing any scholarship application does not guarantee an award, including the UH Common Scholarship application. But if you do not apply, you are guaranteed to not receive a scholarship. So do go out there, try, apply. You just never know what may happen. Hopefully, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Um, Other than the UH Common Scholarship application, we do have some external scholarships listed on our website. And also Colleges Within Reach Hawaii also has some financial aid resources listed. So please visit our website, leeward.hawaii.edu/scholarships for some of the links, especially anyone who's majoring in education. I just put up a new one. Well, it's going to go up hopefully this afternoon. So specifically about the UH Common Scholarship application, this application is open for the next academic year, 2025 through 2026. And as I said before, this is one application that will consider your eligibility for a bunch of different scholarships. Um, Current students and incoming students, like high school seniors, they're all eligible to apply, and we'll match you with scholarships by looking at different factors. Um, and we'll match you by academic interests or community service, by employment or demographics. Just be sure that you submit it by 4 p.m. March 3rd. And I'll share a document with anyone who requests it at the end of the presentation, and it'll have the links. So don't worry about like taking a picture of that. And if you are considering a transfer to one of our four-year schools, please check their websites. Certain scholarships at Manoa and West Oahu have earlier deadlines than March 3rd. So check with them for specific deadlines. So what to expect, not only do you complete the application, which we'll walk you kind of through in this workshop, but you might also, if you did college work outside of the UH system, you should go ahead and start ordering them so you don't have to pay for a rush fee. Especially if you did really good work in them. You can attach them to your Common Scholarship application. Um, Letters of recommendation, I'll go into a little more detail about those later. Start looking around at people in your community who could recommend you for a scholarship. It could be your employer, former instructors, clergy if you're active in church, or athletic coaches. And do consider completing the 25-26 FAFSA. It's available now at studentaid.gov. This will help show us students who who have need, sorry, um, especially for those students who maybe your GPA isn't quite a 4.0, but you do show a lot of need. That is one of the criteria that we use to award scholarships through the UH Common Scholarship application. You will be writing a personal statement. In the past, the personal statement used to be a 900 word, up to a 900 word maximum essay. Now it's now broken in up into one required essay of 300 words or less and two optional essays. That can help the committee get to know you a little bit better, and both of those are also limited to 300 words each. And then as you work through the application, you'll see optional essays that you can fill out for specific scholarships. Some of those may be about writing about what you think of a certain organization, or what you've done in your life. Questions about how you will make a great candidate in a certain field. Just take a look and answer as many optional essays as you can to increase your chances of being considered for those scholarships. So, uh, some housekeeping tips. It's a good idea to start your essays on a Google Doc or Word doc and save them as you go along. And then when you're ready, you got your application ready to submit, then you can copy and paste everything. The reason why you might want to do this is the application is when you first sign in is open for 45 minutes, and then it will automatically refresh. So as you go along, please save your work so you don't lose anything that you've already copy and pasted or written in the application. If you save it, then you'll gain another 45-minute session. And of course, order your transcripts now. Um, just to let you know, it's not always the best idea to be an early submitter of on this application, because once you submit your application, you won't be able to revise it. And if you complete the FAFSA for the upcoming school year, we can help better match you with need-based scholarships. But if you ever have specific questions about your application, you can email scholars@hawaii.edu. I'll have that email address on the handout at the end of the workshop. And of course, Leeward's Fantastic Writing Center can help you polish your scholarship statement and your essays. If you just need a little boost, these guys are terrific at helping you out. Okay. So the first thing that you'll encounter on the application is um, your statement. And because they broke the statement down into three different parts, the first one will be on financial need, the second will be on growth and resilience, and the third one is on, sorry, I haven't, well, I'll get to it. I have them broken down a little later. Oh, I'm sorry. The third one is about your major. Okay. And there are optional ones like if you've done volunteer or community service, you should answer all of those. Just to let you know, it's unfortunate that they do apologize for this. The system that we're using right now does not recognize Hawaiian diacritical markings. So if you do add them to your essays, it'll, come out with all those like ampersands and other punctuation marks. So for now, please refrain from using these marks just to keep your essay nice and clean when the awarding committee reads them. Um, the most important thing is that you get the awarding committee to get to know you a little bit. What inspires you, how you use your education to pay the award forward. Um, why are you in college? Why should the committee fund you? Um, so the first statement is the financial need essay. This one is the only one that's really required. Again, it's 300 words or less. And there are some guiding questions like how do you currently plan to pay for college? Do you anticipate financial challenges like you're expecting a newborn baby? Um, and Please share any financial challenges that you've encountered in the past and how you did manage to overcome them. Um, the second essay is the growth and resilience, but this one's optional, but I think it's a really important one because this one will let the awarding committee get to know you a lot better. And basically, you just describe experiences that help you grow as a person. How did you overcome any challenges? What did you learn that will help you in the future? And especially how it ties into your education, how it will help you overcome any obstacles that come up in your educational career. And the third optional essay is your academic path. Um, why did you choose your major? What inspired you to choose the major that you're in? Um, what are your short-term goals? How do you intend to achieve your long-term goals? And please focus on the positive. Where will your education take you? What do you hope to achieve with your degree? Tell us a little bit about that. Um, it really also helps us to see how you may align with other scholarships that we have to offer, but we can't really match people up because they're based more on the softer skills and interests. So take a chance and do fill those out. And a little bit about letters of recommendation. I mentioned earlier that you should take a look and find people who are in your life who may be able to tell your story from a different angle. They often see qualities that you don't necessarily see in yourself. Like maybe an athletic coach can say, well, this student showed up every day, worked really hard, achieved her goals, and doesn't realize that her other teammates didn't show up in the same way she did. Now, the important thing about letters of recommendation are that they do break ties when there are candidates who are closely ranked for an award. So sometimes it's come down to, well, which student had someone actually write a letter versus a student who didn't maybe ask people or their recommenders didn't feel comfortable recommending them, and so they did decline to recommend them. The student will never find out if someone does decline to either rate you or submit a letter of recommendation. Um, so what happens is if you do identify people in your life who you think would make good recommenders for the application, ask them first if they would be willing to do it. Give them a draft of your personal statement because they may know you in as a certain, like a really great employee, but they may not know what your long-term goals are. So give them a draft or sit down and have a chat with them. Um, get their permission to add their email address to the application. Letters that are mailed in will not be added to your application. Everything is online. So, if you have someone who would like to recommend you, but maybe they're not so good on technology, then work with them, offer to sit down with them and walk them through the process. So, recommenders have up until March 10, 4 p.m. March 10 to submit their either their ranking or their PDF forms. Okay. And don't wait till the last minute. I got to tell you, I was recently asked to recommend a student for a scholarship 1 week before the deadline, and this was during the first week of school, so I was really stressing about it. So do give your recommenders time. It may, cast you in also in a more favorable light. And this is just more tips on, oh, I'm sorry. I have the wrong year here. It's the deadline for recommenders is March 10, 2025, 4 p.m. Okay. So what happens after you do submit your application? If you are selected, you may be notified as early as April, or some more likely during the over the summer. And sometimes we do have people getting notified as late as fall of 2025 or maybe even the spring of 2026 if we are not able to award the first choice of candidates. And if you're ranked just behind them, it is possible for you to get an award as late as spring. And everything will be in your MyUH, and the scholarship funds will pay out into your student account, much like financial aid. And the earliest any awards can go out, even if you're notified over the summer, the earliest any funds will be dispersed is 10 days before the first day of instruction. If you have any questions, please contact us. I'll have the contact information on the flyer that I pass out to everyone. But don't forget that we're here except for state holidays and weekends, and we're here during the breaks, although spring break comes after the deadline. Just so you know, we're always here for you throughout the year. But thank you very much for your time. And anybody who is interested in getting the links, um, just chat me, and I'll be watching out for the chat during Tasha's section. All right. Thank you, Tasha. All yours.
Well, thank you so much, Pearl. Just a wonderful presentation. And we're just so honored to have Pearl here to help us with this wonderful scholarship opportunity. And I'm just going to take this opportunity to queue up my slides and let me know if you have any trouble hearing me. We're in a different location, so we're just kind of getting situated here. Okay, can everyone hear me? All right, I think we're ready to fly here. Okay, so Pearl, she's really shared a lot of golden nuggets about this scholarship, the common scholarship. And so today I'm just gonna kind of expand on what Pearl has already said and just kind of reiterate some of those points. And lastly, give you an opportunity to get a jump start on writing your scholarship essay. So, like Pearl mentioned, you definitely want to make sure that you address the full prompt and don't miss any information because that really can be the deciding factor between you and perhaps another candidate. Because really, your job for the committee is to tell them why you deserve the scholarship. And I'm pretty sure that everyone in this virtual room deserves the scholarship. But we want to make sure that you can convey that in your scholarship application. So let's kind of go to the scholarship page and just kind of reiterate some of the requirements that Pearl mentioned. You can literally just type in UH Common Scholarship and if you don't have the links at your fingertips. But Pearl has a really handy dandy handout that includes those links. And so, in terms of the requirements, there's one application. There's also some optional essays that you can write, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. So there's a community service scholarship that has a 600 word limit, some optional essays, ensuring that you submit your letters of recommendation, your transcript, as well as a free application for federal student aid and answer any campus-specific questions and requirements. And it's really important just to kind of reiterate those deadlines. And so the deadline for the Common Scholarship essay, as Pearl mentioned earlier, is March 3rd. Um, you'll want to get that in by 4 p.m. You'll want to upload your college transcript by March 3rd at 4 p.m. And you also want to enter your name and email of recommenders in the university system scholarship manager at 4 p.m. And so there's a different deadline just to submit the letters of recommendation. And what we'll focus on next is the actual prompt. And so I would recommend taking a look at the prompt and then underlining or numbering each piece of information that's requested. And so for the Common Scholarship, they like to know why you deserve a scholarship. And so um, number two, how these scholarships have helped or will help in your education. Number three, what are your educational and career goals? Any accomplishments, including any honors or awards? Number five, your current employment. And number six, your personal background, including any special situations in your life or anything that you want the scholarship committee to take into consideration. And so, often when you're talking about those challenges, we really want to know how you're going to overcome those. So, if you're awarded the money, it's like investing in you. If you're, take for instance, if you want to invest in a certain fund um, or opportunity, then you want to make sure that you're giving your money to a reputable person who is going to be a good steward over that. And so, likewise, with applying for scholarships, you want to talk about how you overcame challenges because the committee is investing in you because they want to ensure that you're going to have a positive experiences with your college education. And then the return on that is impacting your community and impacting your society as well as your family, and really contributing to education and furthering the mission of education, which is really to impact communities and our families. And if you want to talk about any barriers that you've had to reaching your educational goals, this is number seven, and basically how you plan to overcome them. And so I applied for scholarships. I was a recipient of the Gates Millennium Scholarship, which paid for all 4 years of my college undergraduate uh, degree. And then it also paid for my graduate degree. And so I found out about that scholarship by talking to my advisor, and she shared that opportunity. And it really went a long way in helping me to gain my bachelor's degree and then also fund my graduate education. So it really behooves you to apply for as many scholarships, as many opportunities as possible, and what do you have to lose? You have everything to gain. So it really starts with writing a winning scholarship application such as this. And I want to give you an opportunity to kind of get started with this process of just kind of thinking about essays and formulating ideas. And so you may be acquainted with the writing process, which consists of pre-writing and then which is brainstorming. You have drafting and then revising, editing, as well as publishing. And so using this writing process, you can get started writing without feeling like, oh, I have to create a really perfect essay the first time that I sit down, and that is the best way to get writer's block. So if you can think of writing this essay and just writing in general as a process, it doesn't have to be perfect. And so once you give yourself enough time to sit down and kind of really think about your ideas, that is putting your best foot forward in terms of writing this essay. And first, you'll want to brainstorm. And brainstorming is really rapidly generating ideas and getting your thoughts down on paper. Your brain is literally storming ideas so that you can allow those creative juices to flow. Skipping this step is really it, it doesn't give you the opportunity to let those creative juices flow. So I really recommend brainstorming and coming up with ideas that are going to help you um, set up the foundation for your essay. And so ways to brainstorm include listing, free writing, drawing maps or diagrams. I'm a visual person, so sometimes it's really helpful for me to draw maps or diagrams. And then you can also answer who, what, when, where, why, and how. All of these questions can kind of help you to brainstorm on ideas that are going to allow your creative juices to flow. And unfortunately, I can't see the chat at the moment, but if anyone wants to share that with me, that would be really helpful if we have any questions or ideas in the chat. Yeah, so don't worry about being perfect, but it's really about letting your ideas flow freely. So in this exercise, I would like for you to maybe get a piece of paper or have a Google Doc at your fingertips that you could go back to. It's really however you feel comfortable writing. So I would like for you to choose at least one topic, and I've just taken these topics that are listed in the Common Scholarship application, and I've just gone ahead and numbered them for you. So if you just select one of these numbers, and it could be on any of these topics, why do you think you deserve a scholarship? How these scholarships have helped and or will help in your education, your educational and career goals, any accomplishments, including any honors or awards, current employment, your personal background, including any highlights or special situations, and remember to include how you overcame them, or perhaps how you intend to overcome them if it's a recurring challenge. And so I'll give you about 3 minutes to just write, just brainstorm on whatever comes to your mind on that particular number. And I'll start the timer in just about 1 minute. I want you to be able to get situated, and then I'll let you know when we start. Getting those documents ready and queued up, or if you prefer a sheet of paper, getting that pen ready. And as you type the information or as you write it down on your sheet of paper, the key is not to let your fingers stop typing or your finger stop writing. And so this might sound mean, but if you don't know what to write, you can just keep writing. I don't know what to write. And I guarantee you that ideas will continue to flow. So on your marks, get ready, get set, and go. So we're going to write for the next uh, 2 minutes, and then I'll give you a 1 minute warning for stop. And you may go. All right, you have 1 minute remaining, 1 minute to win it. All right, hopefully that wasn't very painful at all. And really the goal was to get you started writing and kind of formulating some ideas. If you want to continue to develop your ideas, we have really friendly and knowledgeable tutors. And I was just talking with a few students about how we can help them further develop their scholarship essays. If you're a Leeward student, feel free to use any of the links that we provided here. And we'll also share out that information. And we also have the wonderful Scott Sutherland from Windward Community College. And they also have dynamic and friendly writing consultants there as well. If Scott's still with us, Scott, would you like to share any information about your program?
Sure. Sure. Sorry, I was just eating my lunch. Yeah, if you're wanting to connect to our services here at WCC, we offer several different academic support services. So we have a math lab, a speech lab, and we have a writing lab, which is where you might want to connect if you need help with things such as personal statements for scholarships, resumes or cover letters or anything like that as well. So all our services are open to all students in the system, even if you're not a WCC student. If you happen to be on our campus and stop by, we'll be sure to assist you.
Awesome. It's just really great working with Scott and all of the tutors who I've met. They're really nice and friendly and always willing to help and very knowledgeable. And I think that's what's really great about tutoring programs all across the UH system. We've joined together and come together for this SC workshop series. And if there's any other topics that you think might be helpful for you, we're always looking for additional ideas. And also, please feel free to fill out the peer feedback form that we shared in the chat, because whether you're getting extra credit or more importantly, we like to hear from you and how we can continue to enhance and improve our workshop series. Also, if you want to get more information about how you can make an appointment and get assistance with scholarship essays, feel free just to hang back at the end of today's workshop and we'll get you connected. I was able to improve my personal statement, and then I just kind of changed the wording a little bit and then just shared it with different scholarship programs. And that way I was working smarter and not harder. And I was very pleased with the outcome, not only the Gates Millennium Scholarship, but also there was a teaching scholarship that paid for my dorm. And so that also paid for my food as well. And so just coming from a large family, it really went a long way. My expected family contribution was zero. And you'll see that on your financial aid application when you get a response from financial aid. So my expected family contribution was zero, but I didn't have the funds to help me with life circumstances. And so scholarships can be really critical and integral to that. And Scott and Pearl, did you have anything else you'd like to add to today's conversation about scholarships?
The only thing is that I'll say is that take advantage of everything out there. Apply to scholarships, even if you think you might not meet 100% of the criteria. Sometimes they can't even give out all of the money that's available, so you never know. And the other thing I'll say is even if you don't qualify for Pell Grants, you should still definitely apply for scholarships, or even more so, that you should apply for scholarships. Because I think a lot of students think, oh, I didn't get anything on the FAFSA. I'm not even going to bother doing these scholarship applications. But so that's kind of my advice is just, apply to as many as you think you'll qualify for. And like this workshop is saying, be sure to craft a really good personal statement because that really does go far with the scholarship committees. And like Tasha, I got through my undergrad purely by scholarships and Pell Grants. My EFC was also zero when I started college. Luckily, because then I got to get money to pay for my schooling, and that was extremely helpful. Otherwise, I don't think I would be here now.
Well said, Scott. And also, I'd just like to add that if you the only way, again, to not get a scholarship is to not apply. So get out there and apply. You just don't know what you might be eligible for. So put your name out there. You might as well get the money.
Yeah, show me the money. And do you all have any questions? Maybe we'll stop recording if possible.